Hey. Thank you to the devs of L-Sword for sponsoring this video. L-Sword is a fun, free-to-play 2.5D action anime game, and it's the kind of grindy fun I enjoy doing when I want to avoid doing my work like I always do. And with its newest update, it is a great time to hop on the wagon and try it. I already spend too much of my limited free time on Mobage, so what's another anime game on the list? Especially when they're sponsoring this video and giving me even more money to spend on PNGs. So click the link in the description if this interests you at all. Enough talk about L-Sword. Let's talk about L-Shield. Fucking kill- Who wrote this? Oh, I did. Shield Hero's scriptwriter Koyanagi Keigo was kind of bullied into his position for Shield Hero, because while working on Cinema Citrus's main Abyss, the CEO of Cinema Citrus, Ogasawara, randomly dumped a bag of Shield Hero light novels onto Keigo in his desk and told him to read through them. Nothing else. Koyanagi ignored it at first, not sure what was really going on with it, and focused on his work for Maiden Abyss. But during Abyss's production, Ogasawara repeatedly asked him if he read it until Koyanagi suddenly found himself taking part in Shield Hero's pre-production meetings. It wasn't until production actually started ramping up that he was formally asked to do the job. And, well, despite the bullying, he was happy to be given an opportunity to work with Shield Hero's director Abo. A director who wanted to work on a game-like series like Shield Hero, but didn't really consider himself much of a gamer, which is why, honestly thankfully, much of the dual video game-oriented dialogue of the show was approached in a show-not-tell kind of way. Since the early stages of planning for the project, Abo wanted to incorporate the game elements through the status screens and visuals rather than dialogue. He said that utilizing dialogue to point out a character leveled up or learned a certain skill eats up too much time on screen and would disrupt the flow of the story. And talking about the story, there's quite a lot of minor, some kind of major tonal changes in the adaptation. Now Fumi is definitely still the same untrusting negative cutie, but with a lot of his internal dialogue being removed. He's not as much of a psychopath in the anime. As originally being a web novel that was just posted to the popular Shotesku ni Naru fan rating site in 2012 for fun, oh god, it's been 7 years, I'm fucking aging, I'm doing nothing with my life. Oh, what is wrong with me? Basically, he started as web novel, and then to light novel with some altered stuff for clarity and professionality, to anime, which made some medium necessary changes like, you know, having constant thoughts about enjoying Reptilia, suffering and dying in obscene ways I won't recite because it would remind him of the bitch dying. Probably for the best. Web novel and light novel Now Fumi are batshit crazy, while anime Now Fumi is, well, just sort of a jerk who's subconsciously nice. With Abo and all anime directors, unless they're told otherwise, they go into a project assuming the one season they have is all they'll do. So Abo decided to emphasize what he considered the most appealing element to him in the story. He wanted to highlight the mental aspect of Naofumi, but the one thing he really wanted as the main core was Naofumi and Raphtalia's relationship. Scriptwriter Koyanagi pointed out that 2 curs is just too short to cover everything in Shield Hero and in most adaptations. So Abo asked him to narrow the focus onto something the audience would care most about, which ended up being the story of Naofumi and Reptilia. Of course, other characters like Philo and Melty get their time in the limelight, but they both stated that Shield Hero is by no means a harem story, which Volume 10 and onwards of the web novel completely disagrees with that sentiment, but Abo and Koyanagi wanted to make Shield Hero's adaptation more of a romantic endeavor. But while we're talking about the web novel, Shield Hero actually has 2 endings. The first being chapter 356, where the story originally ended in a, well, I won't say it, but a way that upset a lot of fans, despite it being a better, more appropriate ending for the series, honestly, than what came after, but whatever. So people got mad. They complained. Maybe there was even some personal dissatisfaction in the ending from the author Oneko Usagi, but it was mostly the fans. Also, that is a fucking fantastic pen name. And the new ending came 22 chapters after Usagi revised chapter 356 in chapter 378. But he didn't let it go, with a little revenge trolling to the outcry when Usagi pulled a fast one by naming chapter 372 The End, and then continuing anyway. And talking about the author, in an interview, he revealed that Shield Hero was inspired by the defense specialized Crusader character in Ragnarok Online, who was virtually impossible to level solo and required a party to be powerful and dependable. Sounds kinda familiar, just a bit, if you remove the deep, deep hatred of woman.
If she breathes,
just kidding, kind of. Also, one of the most popular pets for this class in Ragnarok Online was, well, if anyone put a second thought into it, you'd probably guess what I'm about to say. A Sanuki, which isn't a surprise when considering that Usagi's favorite manga and just general stories to read are ones with animal protagonists, which is why many of the love interests are part animal. So congratulations, if you like Raphtalia, you're now a furry. Get fucked. Wait, does that mean I'm a furry? Yeah, probably. Fuck! Following his inspiration of Fumi, the other heroes were also inspired by other stories that Usagi had read, which isn't really unique. Most creatives tend to find inspiration in the other media they consume, who would have thought? But what is more interesting is that none of those good guy characters are inspired by people who exist in his life, even partly. Those life experience inspirations of people are saved exclusively for the enemy characters, as Usagi called it. Very unreasonable and violent people, as he put it, and how his characters showed it. He bases the villains on some people he's met and known. I'm just gonna guess that maybe he didn't quite enjoy his previous work life before becoming a novelist. As previously mentioned, director Abo doesn't really play games outside of, well, Minecraft, according to him, and scriptwriter Koyanagi mostly plays FPSs versus the RPG-tailored shield hero. So Abo actually found the youngest people on the staff to take up the lead for the interface design of the necessary video gamey graphics and designs. But it was kind of awkward for him to ask everyone's age, so he basically snooped what Mobage his staff were playing to figure out who was best for the job. After their meeting with Usagi, both Abo and Koyanagi were struck by Usagi-sensei's thought process on the four heroes and truly wanted to convey their complicated relationship. So Koyanagi specifically wrote the scripts of the anime in a way that the audience would not hate the other three heroes. He wrote them to be stupid but lovable. And well, I got some bad news for you on that one, Chief. Once again, big thanks to L-Sword for sponsoring this video. It is honestly a fun, cute game that I have put many hours into before. And Labby, the new character, is cute as fuck, and she's my wife. Do not talk to her. But you can if you want, I guess. Just, you know, she's mine. So check out the link in the description if it interests you at all. Thanks.